a world where the Constitution is under attack, one team of patriots stands up to fight for what's right with courage, strength, truth, and justice. Backed by popular demand and broadcasting live via the internet, this is the world-famous Rage Against the Regime, bringing you hard-hitting exclusive interviews and covering the topics the mainstream media doesn't dare to touch. Here are your hosts, Bobby Who's the Man and Becky Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard to Rage Against the Regime podcast, and I am your host, Bobby Who's the Man. It's been a little while since I've actually been on here doing this. And I thought today might be a good day to really come on here, talk about some things that are going on, kind of wake people up to the forefront. Today, Paul Ryan and Donald Trump got together, had a little meeting. They say, things are starting to go in the right direction, they're doing better, so on and so forth. But Paul Ryan still doesn't endorse Trump. He says, things are going to be better and we're going to come together and we don't want Hillary for another 4 years, So, we're moving in the right direction, but I'm not going to endorse Trump. That's Paul Ryan's words. What do you mean you're not going to endorse him? He's your Republican Party candidate. Everybody else is gone. Now, I've heard of the shenanigans that's going on right now in the Cruz campaign. Okay, the campaign's over with, and they're trying to get people to not vote for Trump so Cruz can try to steal some kind of delegates and this and that. He's mathematically eliminated. So all you Cruz supporters, take a step back, choose a lane, whatever lane it is. I mean, if you really want America to be great again, you're going to choose the GOP lane and you're going to get on with Donald Trump. Because if you don't vote for Trump, it's a vote for Hillary. Okay? It's a vote for Hillary. Now, I'm going to tell you this much. A lot of people are saying, yeah, but you know what? You're not catching the point. Bernie Sanders is going to be Hillary Clinton's running mate. She's going to choose him and blah, blah, blah. No, never happened. Those two are so far apart. It's not even close. Now, Donald Trump and Sanders being on the same ticket, I could see. Even though they're in two different parties. I could see that happening. Hillary would never choose Sanders. Never. Now, Sanders has the youth movement going on right now. There's no doubt about that. He has the youth movement on his side. I got to be really honest here. Okay, we all know I do not support Hillary Clinton at all. I'm a Trump supporter. But there's a big but here. I have listened to Bernie Sanders speak. I watched a couple of his speeches, and I gotta be really honest. The man can speak. He's got some good ideas and everything, though, big though, a lot of the things that he's talking about, he thinks that we're going to get all these freebies and, this and that and whatever. And my God, please, wake up, sir. I do think that he's a good speaker. I think that he has some good ideas, but he's a socialist and a communist. Think about that. He's a socialist and a communist. That's why I could see what's going on if Hillary does not get the the endorsement, which we all know that she's already gotten the endorsement. Okay? But a lot of people are coming forward and being Sanders supporters. He's won quite a few states. He's giving Hillary a run for her money. Now, one thing that I'm worried about is what kind of shenanigans are going to happen at the Republican National Convention. Trump is saying, oh, I've got, big things planned. I got a big surprise going on. Now, if you do not think that there's going to be lots of paid protesters out there, well, I couldn't even say protesters. If you don't think that there's going to be a lot of paid protesters out there, you're crazy. I think there's going to be more paid protesters than there's going to be actually people there to see Trump and to be there for the Republicans. Now, the Bikers for Trump are promising to have a very, very big turnout themselves. There's another group, and then truck drivers for Trump are saying that they're going to be there also to kind of slow the protesters down. Now, seeing how a lot of these Bernie Sanders supporters are, how young they are, they're not even old enough to vote. So, for them to have a word or a say right now, no. But this is our future here. Most of those kids are pretty ignorant. They do ignorant things. They spit on people. They pick fights and everything. A lot of them were paid thugs in California. Gangbangers representing. Standing there in the videos when Alex Jones people from InfoWars were there recording. There was a bunch of gang members standing there and throwing up their gang signs and everything else. People, this is what we're dealing with. These are the type of people that say that they're Sanders supporters, but we know that they're being paid by George Soros and the Bush Mafia. I don't know what it's going to take to get everybody to instill in their minds, at least the people that are with the Republican Party, to finally just give in and say, okay, this is our man. He's the person that we are endorsing. This is who the Republicans need to vote for, and that's Donald Trump. Period. End. Hillary should be in prison. She should be in prison. Sanders, you know what? If the guy was the president, it wouldn't be, it wouldn't be as good as Trump, but it wouldn't be anywhere near as bad as Hillary. And wouldn't be as bad as Obama either. So say what you will, but the Republican Party needs to get behind their candidate. Period. End. Now, I want to talk about some other things. We're being warned that this new virus that's going around, that is in, mosquitoes are going to be carrying it and they're going to be spreading it and so on and so forth. They're expecting a huge, I'm trying to think of what would be a good word here, that a lot of people are going to get infected in Rio de Janeiro when the Olympics are there. When the summer games go there, they're expecting, these mosquitoes to get these people and infect all these people that are from all over the place, and that it's going to turn it into a worldwide pandemic. What is it called? Zika? Now, what a lot of people aren't realizing is there's a lot of ways that you can battle this stuff before you would ever even be infected. You can set up the perimeter of your house and the insides of your house to completely shut that down, not allow mosquitoes to breed, and not even want to come into your area. Now, we're doing it at my house. We're setting up lemongrass throughout, pretty much all the way around. Plus, we're setting up with mint, and we're putting in, trying to think of the lavender, trying to think of all the different stuff that we're putting in. And we're putting it all the way around our house, especially by the doors and stuff, to make it to where, not gonna happen. Then they have a lot of homemade contraptions that you can put inside of your house. Some of them were made out of tires, and they were actually pretty cool looking, that you can put inside your house, that mosquitoes will go right to it, and they will go inside there and they'll die. You can help fight the pandemic that they're saying will happen. Now, I got to be honest with you. If this is going to be anything like the last, 3 years, we had all these warnings on all these things that were going to be coming around. They were going to infect a lot of people. A bunch of people were going to be dead. It was going to be this whole outbreak, and we were going to have all this Ebola going around, and then they had some kind of swine flus and H1N1 and so on and so forth, and all these things were going to be spread throughout the whole world, and we were going to be in for this craziness. Okay? This big time craziness. Everybody be forewarned. This thing's coming, and be prepared, and it's going to get all of us, and they may have to implement martial law. Well, that's what they're talking about right now. They're saying that this Zika is going to be so bad, and that the outbreak is going to be that bad, that they're going to have to implement martial law worldwide. Good luck. Good luck. They've been wanting to do this for a long time. Look, Obama's been trying to do it forever here. Where I live at in Chicago, we've had so many situations going on. All the deaths and the murders and, so many people getting killed here and everything. I've posted pictures and videos of guys driving around in MRAPs. Not guys, but cops and military-looking people driving around in these MRAPs, and I mean completely militaried out, and driving around, rolling up on these, groups of guys, breaking it down, going through bad neighborhoods and stuff, and shutting it down. We had a situation that was going on here. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it got so bad that certain neighborhoods, they shut it down. I wouldn't say that it was martial law, but it was pretty damn close. But that's in a small area. That's a little neighborhood. There's no way humanly possible they do not have enough personnel to get it to where everybody's going to be on martial law and everybody's going to have to stay in their houses and people aren't going to come out and everything else. There's too many guns, too many ex-military, too many guys that are vets and everything else that are not going to allow that to happen. Will not allow that to happen. I promise you. There's 3%ers and militia members that will have a lot of say in that, and I do not think that they're going to go along with that. Now, with all this Zika warnings and everything that are going on, and all the warnings that we're having about the fault lines, about Yellowstone, about, all these different volcanoes all over the place, and, earthquake swarms that we've been having and everything else, there's a lot of talk about these FEMA camps again. Now, I got to be honest with you. A lot of people are cracking on people like us that have the same views and the same opinions, and they're cracking on us and they're laughing at us because they're saying, these are the same people that thought that there was going to be FEMA camps. Where's the FEMA camps? These are the same people that thought that there was going to be an Ebola outbreak. Where's that at? Blah, blah, blah. They're laughing. And I got to be honest with you. There's a lot of things that we've been warned about that I brought it to the forefront and started warning people, hey, this is going to happen. This is what the talk is. And, Becky and I have been out here pounding the pavement trying to warn people. And then it's like, does anything ever happen? No. Things never happen. And sometimes I think, this is what I've come up with. Sometimes I think that the government actually creates a lot of scenarios and creates a lot of rumors and stuff like that and shares it. Gets it started, starts telling people, so then patriots start sharing it and going, hey, this is what the latest rumor is and what the latest warning is, and we got to be prepared, we got to share the information, we got to tell everybody, and then all of a sudden, like maybe 10% of it might happen. Think about it, folks. Seriously. And it's not a knock to anybody. I mean, we're going to still share information. We're still going to put everything out there that we possibly can. We're going to tell everybody all the news that we can tell them. But on the same token, I mean, look what's going on. Seriously, what is going on? Not what we're being warned about, okay? Not at all. None of the things that we're being warned about are happening. I mean, once in a blue moon, we might get something that happens. It's scary, folks. It really is. It's scary. Because think about it. I mean, you want to tell everybody, you want to warn everybody about all the things that are going to be going on and all the things that are going to be happening, right? But then, you've got friends. I know you do. I've got friends like this too, that they've listened to you a couple times and, they got all interested in your warnings and everything and in your conversations and, they got all, okay, I'm ready. Then, nothing happens. Then you tell them about something again. They're like, okay. All right. And they tell people about it, and then all of a sudden, nothing happens. So guess what? Now, they get sick and tired of your stories and of the things that you share Now they don't believe it anymore. Now they're not really feeding into any of the stuff that you're telling them. Then you've got the people that are completely liberal, completely brainwashed, that our government would never do any harm to us and would never do a thing wrong, and that we're quacks, that we need aluminum foil on our heads, and that we're just plain crazy. Sometimes I wonder what's really going on and what side of the fence that we're really supposed to be on. How many of the warnings are real? Because, folks, and I'm not trying to tell you guys that we're wrong in our thinking, but how many of those things really happened? Seriously, think about it, folks. How many of those things really happened? Nowhere near as many as we thought. Now, FEMA has been in the news here recently, and they're preparing for, they're going to be doing practicing, and they're preparing for some kind of big event that's going to be coming. Now, they probably do that every year, and they probably do it all the time. But I got to be honest, this one is pretty big, because the place that they're doing it, and for the time that they're doing it, I mean, they're really preparing for something. They've already had people out at Yellowstone, running the x-ray machines pretty much, looking down to see what is going on at Yellowstone. They've actually been, covering the fault lines. I guess 2 different fault lines are going in 2 different directions, which it's supposed to be doing, but one's going a lot faster than the other one. And they're saying that fault line is pretty much going to give way. I hope they're wrong. I really do. I don't think that they're wrong, but I hope that they're wrong. I hope it's not going to be as big of an ordeal as they claim that it's going to be. Well, I just wanted to talk about some things, folks, and share them with you. Becky's been doing shows. Please listen to the shows that she's been doing. She's been kicking ass and taking names. I believe that she's going to be doing a show here on the Win Network. We've had a lot of things going on and haven't been able to do shows, like we've done in the past. But I think that there's going to be a lot more Spreaker shows coming up. And I think that there's going to be at least a once-a-week show on Blog Talk Radio for the Win Network. So just, try to find us. We're going to be sharing all of our information, all over Facebook and everything. Please like the podcast page. Rage Against the Regime podcast on Facebook. Please like the podcast page. And then we have a YouTube channel that is actually getting a lot more action on it. All of our shows from the past can be found there. They can also be found on iTunes. Something happened with our iTunes link, though, and I have no idea what happened to it. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. But until next time, I've been your host, Bobby Who's the Man Ritter.
You're listening to the Rage Against the Regime podcast. Don't be a stranger. Like Rage Against the Regime podcast on Facebook or tweet us at RATR Podcast.